Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Heading to work today, and then I also have a wedding on my lunch break. So have a nice busy day today. Baruch Hashem. I got an interesting email yesterday, some time ago, on a website, Gig Salad, which I've booked a few weddings here and there. I don't get that many leads from this website, but since there's not that many leads, they don't charge me the membership right now or something like that. I'm not sure exactly if I pay for the membership I'd make some more money. I'm not sure exactly how it works. In any event, someone, I don't know what they call it, catfishing or something. Maybe that's not the right term, but there was someone who was claiming they were they want to hire me to perform their wedding. They mentioned me specifically by name, and then they asked where was I ordained, and I explained to them the laws in Pennsylvania. And they said, well, my aunt is a clerk, and she told me that Universal Life Church is good enough. I said, well, and I explained to them the laws in Pennsylvania, as I've explained in other videos as far as Universal Life Church, and they said, well, we reported you to Thumbtack, and and you got to stop blackballing Universal Life Church. Now, I don't have a problem with Universal Life Church. I am very happy that there is such a thing in America, and that there is that level of religious freedom in America, because it protects my religious freedom. However, that being said, Pennsylvania, every state has the right to make their own laws. What are we going to have? When there was a Supreme Court case that says, that Universal Life Church, they have the right to give, to ordain people out of packs of comic books and stuff. That was before the internet. Now they have the internet, and if they want to ordain anybody with with very little credentials and very little things required to give this ordination, they can do so, and the states have the right to recognize it if they, in accordance to their laws. Now, Pennsylvania does not outlaw ministers from Universal Life Church to perform weddings. They restrict it, and they restrict it, I guess is the best way to describe it, meaning there are rules on how to do it, which are fine, but people have to know what the laws are. And I know some lawyers, they're upset. It's interesting, I found so Thumbtack, finally, they asked me, they said, why is it that I always tell people, but they didn't, the way they worded it was kind of funny, but I knew what they were asking. They wanted to know about the laws in Pennsylvania about who could perform weddings. And so I found that in the law books, that the laws were amended in 2007 to specifically prohibit the Universal Life Church, and not necessarily just that one, but there are plenty of similar groups. I mean, I myself also have ordained ministers. Again, it doesn't prevent them from serving, as clergy or whatever. It just prevents them from signing marriage license under certain particular circumstances. It restricts and regulates who can sign a marriage license. And so they specifically said that someone who was ordained online or by mail order are not considered to be serving a regularly established congregation as under those laws. Which means to say that they're restricted into which weddings they can do. Just like any other clergy are restricted. And so what do I mean by that? Meaning, they can't claim that they're serving a congregation when they're not serving a congregation, basically. I mean, the law, I guess you could still say, is somewhat ambiguous, but it pretty much solidified, because until now I've always heard there was some ambiguity because there were different court cases on the subject. However, the actual law books, which I didn't know, in 2007 were amended specifically to handle this issue in Pennsylvania. So I think that removes the ambiguity. So basically it's like this. If it's the same laws if you're a rabbi, a priest, a minister, an imam. If you are just ordained and you do not serve a regularly established congregation, you can only sign the regular marriage license if one of the, in Pennsylvania, if one of the partners in the marriage is a member of your denomination, and if the ceremony is performed in accordance with the laws of your denomination. That's if you do not serve a regularly established congregation. If you do serve a regularly established congregation, then you can do any wedding as long as your congregation permits it. So, for example, my congregation restricts me from performing a wedding between someone who is halachically Jewish and someone who is not halachically Jewish, but it does not restrict me from performing a wedding between a man and a woman who are who neither of whom are halachically Jewish. And Pennsylvania law recognizes that I serve a congregation because I'm the associate rabbi at my local congregation, and I actually minister there, I actually preach there, I actually am involved in liturgical duties there in an actual brick and mortar congregation. So that's how I'm legal in Pennsylvania, because I serve at a regularly established congregation. When our senior rabbi goes away on vacation or a speaking tour or something, as he does every now and then, so then I'm running the whole show, and even when he's there, I have liturgical duties and preaching duties and teaching duties in the congregation. And so too, I would tell anybody who is interested in doing weddings in Pennsylvania to at least volunteer at your local congregation and ask the congregation, ask your local church or synagogue or mosque or wherever to recognize you, whether it's as a deacon or whatever that function is, an associate pastor, an associate cantor, rabbi, imam, whatever, that would make you eligible, and it does not have to be located in Pennsylvania. So let's say you live close to the Pennsylvania border and you want to perform weddings in Pennsylvania. You can either open your own church or have your local church that you're a member of, give you a position as a deacon or something like that. Or associate pastor, or some kind of a position, assistant cantor, maybe even the gabbai. As far as to sign marriage licenses, that should be good enough, but you can't just go and get ordained by Universal Life Church and not have any affiliation with the local church and sign a marriage license in Pennsylvania unless either the bride or the groom converts to Universal Life Church. Now that's not that hard to do, but you cannot make a business out of expecting people to do that. You understand what I'm saying? So if you do a wedding for a friend of yours, and that friend or family member, and that friend or family member is willing, maybe even they themselves are ordained by Universal Life Church, that would probably be okay. But I think it was a case like that was actually declared null and void by the court. So even in a case like that, it's not. So what do you want to? So what can you do then in Pennsylvania if you want a friend of yours to perform your wedding? And let's say they're ordained by Universal Life Church. If they are or they aren't, it doesn't matter. What can you do? It's very, very simple. In Pennsylvania, there's another option. Instead of getting the regular license, you get the self-uniting license, the Quaker license. And then you just need 2 witnesses to sign, and one of those could be your officiant, who's not able to sign the other type of license, and it's just as good. And so if you do want to make a business as a professional officiant in Pennsylvania, and you can plan ahead long enough, meaning people are booking you a year in advance, as a lot of officiants prefer to do. I prefer personally the last minute weddings, but some officiants prefer to plan ahead. And in that case, you should if you are ordained by Universal Life Church or something else, or even if you're ordained by a regular seminary, I don't know, at Princeton, or or you're ordained by the Pope, by the Dalai Lama, whoever, the Chief Rabbi of Israel, whoever, and you're not serving a congregation, and you're not serving someone of your own faith, meaning if you're a rabbi doing a Jewish wedding, or you're a Catholic priest doing a Catholic wedding, that's fine. But you're doing a non-denominational wedding, and you have enough time that you planned ahead of time. You just tell them to get a self-uniting license, and it's just as legal and fine as the regular license. And so this is my message to. I mean, again, I'm not telling people, and I never told anybody in Pennsylvania, don't hire someone from Universal Life Church. What I tell them is, these are the requirements if this is who you're hiring. And there are officiants who don't know about this. I'm just trying to educate them. I'm not trying to blackball them. And if you want to hire them, the best suggestion I can get is you should give a self-uniting license. Other states, it's fine. In Jersey, go ahead. Jersey, it's fine. It's just it's Pennsylvania that has these laws. New York State, though, people should know certain counties no longer recognize Universal Life Church. So you have to check with each county, with each local clerk. And again, you're better off getting someone who... my feeling is in New York is that if someone's New York City registered, you can be pretty sure that they're good in all of New York. But even so, now that New York City does register Universal Life Church under certain circumstances, there is like the New York City letter that Universal Life Church offers. It's also complicated. So really, do your homework. You don't want to turn around and see that you spent a lot of money on fraud. I mean, there have been clergy who actually have gone to prison for fraudulent weddings, which I really don't understand. I mean, there's one story I heard about. There was someone who was a rabbi in the shul in Port Jervis, New York, who was arrested for performing weddings illegally. What I don't understand is if he served as a rabbi, even if he didn't have smicha, I don't understand why that's not legal. So I don't know. Well, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. God bless.